the other stuff.
PKA 154. We're talking about McCain, John McCain. So I would just say I watched the John McCain speech, only like 2/3 of it, and he's talking about how the Republicans are doing these like top-down mandates and like nothing's getting done right now. He said the Democrats did that before.
Just to jump in real quick, this was today that he did this.
Almost positive it's today. It could have been yesterday, but I think it's
Does
today.
Woody sound loud to you?
No,
I might just be excited.
No, it just sounds different to me. Like Taylor's mic sounds fine, but yours sounds. It may just be on my end. It's weird though. It's weird that he sounds normal and you don't.
Maybe that's part of your 2-hour update.
Taylor's quiet. Yeah. For a little bit. I don't know. But what was I gonna say? And he said that before the Republicans were doing this, the Democrats did, and that they need to start doing things the old way and working together. And look, I mean, maybe I'm just susceptible to the speech because I wish that would happen, but I thought it was pretty well delivered. So it is.
But then, like I said, it's easy for him to say because he's going to be dead in 6 months. He's dying. He's dying. Oh, McCain, you think the system's broken and it needs a big change? You just came up with this, huh? What else just happened with you recently? Well, I found out I was about to die. Okay.
And we got to take care of the Krauts. That's enough.
It isn't
Mr.
lost
McCain.
on me that this is a bit of like Captain Obvious stuff going on here. That he's like, oh, really? Do you think the system's broken? Like people haven't been saying that since the Great Depression 100 years ago.
And who do you want saying that? Like one of the longest serving people in the government. Like that's always funny to me is like not just U.S. but any country will come out there and be like, we've got a lot of problems and there are many, many, many reasons aside from the fact that I've been in charge for 60 years.
That was
like,
one of
there are all
Donald Trump's
sorts of
main. That was one of Donald Trump's main things that he'd say. Hillary Clinton would say, "I'm going to fix this or that." He's like, "You've been in government for 30 years.
Yeah.
Like where you should have been on step 3 by now at least. You're talking about step 1. Like that's why you need me." And it was like, God damn, he's got a good point. Like she has been there the whole time, and she's talking about new shit now. Like this doesn't make sense. That was one of his best moves, I thought.
I do agree with that. As far as the whole
what time are they yearning for? Like when is this beautiful era of
when was America great?
Like wait, when were like the Republicans and Democrats like really loving it together? Like I don't know. It just seems like they kind of fantasize a bit.
Maybe. Yeah. Like not really during. So I can't really claim I paid much attention to politics before Reagan. Right. I was a kid when Reagan was president. Reagan would slam Democrats all the time, right? If it moves, tax it was a Reagan, like anti-Democrat thing. And then there was something else. And then you go to Clinton, right? Like Reagan, it went to Bush briefly, and then it went to Clinton. That was not a period of like bipartisanship with Newt Gingrich leading the whole thing. And then
wasn't it though? I thought that they worked together to get a few things done. It's never like
they did, didn't they?
It's never a kumbaya. But I thought the Clinton period seems to be one that's known as a period when there was some reaching across the aisle and some shit got done. And then Reagan too, right? Like didn't he had big sweeping changes and stuff that he got done like and everything.
When you think about it, like
you don't hear much about Bush.
Have better perspective on it, but like when Reagan did stuff across the aisle, it's like he won by so much and just dominated. Was it really across the aisle, or were those Democrats like, hey, if we don't play ball with with President Reagan here, our state voted for him overwhelmingly. Like we're gonna look.
He had a mandate.
Like that would definitely play into it.
Yeah, he won 49 states. Mondale only carried his first state.
How insane is that?
State. Yeah, 49 states. That is outrageous.
Were you watching that when it was happening? Just like,
I don't remember it really. Like I wasn't that. I was 84. I was 11. So.
Oh, that wasn't your MO at the time.
What was I gonna say? Oh, but when I think of the Clinton years, I think of Newt Gingrich like leading that whole impeachment thing, and I don't know. Basically, Newt Gingrich was like cheating on his wife, fucking all these other women, while attacking Clinton for the same. And I don't know, it still rubs me the wrong way. Like, you should have got someone else to lead that charge.
I get annoyed a little bit when I hear any kind of story about like old, horribly unattractive fat politicians getting laid all the time. Because it makes, I know it's the power. If Newt Gingrich worked at a fucking waterway cleaning cars, nobody would care. They'd be like, hey, can you put me on the cute girl and not that creep? But like, doesn't that bother you a little bit? Like, goddamn, like I want to see a couple pictures of the girls he was fucking, just so I could be like, oh, she was 44 and also ugly.
Is it power or money? Because I swear, power is not that attractive to me. I don't get the attraction to power. Fuck power. I don't need any power.
To me, you haven't utilized it. You're thinking power is some abstract thing, but you have to think of the things that power could provide to you.
Yeah, that's my point.
What if I had an airstrip and I was like, hey, Woody, this is a military airstrip here. This is Fort Jimmy Jam. It's weekend exercises, so it's all yours. It's all yours and your friends. You can go out there. It's your runway. It's your airport. You want to go up in air traffic control? That's power, right? Like, you want to meet the colonel?
No, I don't want to meet the colonel. It's different because
listen, to me, power is just a means to money. That's what power, like, if I have the power to grant, I don't know, defense contracts or something like that, and that somehow kicks back and makes me rich, like the Clintons, right? The Clintons are worth, if I have my numbers right, $115 million. But they don't have any products, right? I don't know how they got that money exactly, right? I don't know what business they own, where all that cash came in. There's no products they're selling, though. So they must be selling kickbacks for defense contracts and ambassadorships and whatever the fuck else you sell with that power. That, to me, power is just one of the ways in which people accumulate wealth. Wealth is attractive to me. I get wealth. I get how that's
power
fun to have.
Power is Chris Christie on that beach. You know what I mean? Like that's power. I feel like it's so there's money, but I just don't think that they can really take bribes from defense contractors. They can take lobbyist dollars that'll keep them in power, but it seems like if there were vast quantities of hard cash going into senators' pockets, like, we'd get to the bottom of that shit. It's so the fact that our system is so partisan and that both sides hate each other kind of prevent that kind of like really crazy corruption, right?
How do they all get so rich though? Yeah, I just don't know where the money's coming from.
Assured destruction. It's like that super rich Democratic senator and that super rich Republican senator. Like, I still in my head have just the image of Nancy Pelosi and Paul Ryan like being in a room after a big media day, being like, "Oh, can you believe this? Like, man, how much money we're making hand over fist right now with all this distraction." Like, I feel like they're all closer together than we know. Yeah, but they also they all use their power to make money, and so there's no, like, if Nancy Pelosi or whoever goes, hey, fucking Chuck Schumer, if Chuck Schumer says, hey, Rand Paul or someone's making hundreds of millions, that he'll go, okay, Chuck Schumer, you made hundreds of millions. It's like, oh, well, fuck, yeah, I guess you caught us. We're all doing this. Yeah, but
eventually you'd have a Mr. Smith goes to Washington type scenario where someone would be like, I don't, that's not what I'm here for. I don't stand for this. What about the people? Like, that would eventually happen, and it just doesn't. I think within the laws and the systems that are in play, there's plenty of ways for them to earn money. It seems like, I don't know the Clinton specifics, but it seems like they earned all their money with those speaking engagements. It seems like every time she goes and speaks, she's getting like $500,000 or something.
Oh, okay, so my understanding of a speaking engagement is they say, Woody, we're going to pay you $500,000, $1 million to come speak here. And then we're hoping that you open up some doors for us behind the scenes. And I don't believe that Bernie Sanders said it great. He's like, I want to see these speeches. These must be some great speeches if they're worth $600,000 for 15 minutes. I think it's the public good to benefit from these magnificent speeches.
I think Woody's 100% on the nose with this, because think about it. Like, if there's a big group of financial investors or people in the finance sphere, and they're like, hey, it would be a good investment for us to each pony up and let's throw $700,000 together, get Secretary Clinton in here, and she can tell us how to run a business better. Like, think of the tips and tools she'll have for us. Like, what are they going to do? Like, she goes up there and goes, well, I've never worked in the finance industry, and I have no idea what it is you do, but you need to do it with this. Like, no, it's just her saying nothing of value. Yeah, with cattle futures, she's brilliant.
Let's talk
cattle.
She
doesn't actually know any shit of value
that's how she starts
for that audience. Like, it's just a kickback. It's a way for those guys to go, hey, we're going to give you all this for this service, but really this service is just for you taking care of back-end deals for us, is what I always figured.
That's my assumption, too.
With your power thing, that I get it because I feel like this might be a gender or a sex thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like men aren't as attracted to power in a potential partner,
Okay.
and women are more attracted to power in a potential partner. Because I think there's just something kind of as a man that you kind of want to make your own power in a way. Like you want to be like if I was dating some, I don't know, Israeli prime minister lady, like I wouldn't like that. It'd be like, oh, like I don't have anything
Like
to
Gal
do in this
Gadot, but
relationship.
she's
I
got
have no
special forces on tap.
Exactly. Like
How do you
that
not
wouldn't
like this scenario?
because
What if she's got high T?
dude, you need to feel useful in a relationship.
Tell
I
me
think.
more about her testosterone level.
It's off the charts. They blood tested her, and she couldn't even get TRT. They thought
She's
she
the
was
only woman when you're fucking her voice cracks. She's, oh, give it to me harder. Gal, you're really going through puberty.
Speaking of
Anyway,
high T,
yeah, I've been watching this
Cyborg.
healthcare thing. As a guy who doesn't, I guess I want healthcare to get better. I want the system to get better. There's possibilities for improvement in here. McCain said it well. He's like, the current healthcare bill is kind of flawed. He's like, we all know that. People who are for it, people who are against it, we all know that. And he's like, but the thing that we got coming up here is a shell of a bill, and it's awful, and I can't vote for it in its current form. We all know that too. People who are for it and who are against it know that this bill's not a good one. And it was just like, oh, nice. Like, I don't know. It struck a chord with me.
Chris
Yeah,
Cyborg is fighting.
Yes.
Let's talk about UFC
Dude.
because this is a huge fucking card.
Huge. So, Taylor, if you don't know, the UFC maybe twice a year-ish does their Super Bowl of cards. Like all the fights you want to see stacked on one single card. It's the craziest thing. There is no McGregor right now. He's boxing apparently. But John Jones and Daniel Cormier. That's it. Cormier. It's John Jones and DC. Those guys are about to fight. Now, there's a long history with these guys. DC.
Yes. I played a short video
has
for Taylor the other day.
Never lost a fight, right? He's won all. He was a Strike Force champion, his smaller league champions. He came into the UFC, fought at heavyweight, beat all the heavyweights there. But his friend was also a heavyweight, so he steps down to 205, beats everybody until he hits John Jones. And then John Jones gets a 5-round decision over him. Clear decision, but it was still a decision. He didn't finish the guy. And then John Jones' life goes off the rails. He's smashing his car into pregnant women, getting high on coke, smashing his car, maybe again. I don't know. I can't keep up with them all.
It was the dick. He's pissed hot for dick pills.
Yeah, the dick pills is an excuse for a performance-enhancing
My penis
drug.
is so large that I need those.
That's
no,
literally
I don't
his
have
claim.
ED. I have a normal man's
He's saying
erectile function. It's just so big.
Yeah, he's saying this is John Jones' story, right? There's
Is he
two.
retarded?
Taylor, you need to pick one of these and see which one you believe, okay? Story one is that he tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, and he was cheating to perform better in sports. That's one possibility. The other is that while he has a fully functioning dick, his dick is so big that he had to take like gas station or like Viagra, and that had things in it that he didn't know that made him piss hot, and he had to take gas station Viagra, like I said, because he has an enormous cock, and that's the other possibility that it could be. And he's very upset.
Yeah, but that's like not even how biology works. Like it's not
totally
like
is.
like if you
It
go
totally
into
is.
no, not with if you go into a doctor's office and you have ED, he doesn't go, all right, here's this pill. You know, first we're gonna get out our Archimedes device to dip you in and see like what size pill is appropriate for you. Like that doctor
There's no
is never
what happened.
going to.
Taylor,
no,
I have a
that
counter
doctor,
example.
Real quick, that doctor is never going to say what you want to do is go to 7-Eleven and get something called a Furious Hornet. You're going to buy 6 of those and you're going to take them bi-hourly. Like what? No, you're a maniac. Like why wouldn't he just stick with a reasonable excuse and say he had ED? So then it would be like, oh, okay, well at least now we kind of feel bad for him because he's this big fighter man and he's also kind of a loser. But like,
oh, dude, circle back to that. But when I get my dog medicine for like heartworm or fleas, they look at how big the dog is. So, it just stands to reason that John Jones's dick needs some sort of turbo.
I've seen this in pornography before, man, with an incredibly large penis, but it's like, hey, he's not even he's just down here like this, and he'll have to like get the base of it and like you know when the toothpaste is almost done, he'll have to like pull that move and like get it, like he'll have 2 fists of cock, and then he'll have like another fist and a half of cock that's hard because he's squeezing all the bottom blood. Like this is a thing that happens. I don't have quite that much cock myself, but I've seen some video evidence.
If I do that to a baby's arm, will the hand swell up like a surgical glove?
Huge.
just squeeze it.
But regardless of the biology of it, it just seems like this is a stupid route to take with, like, he literally let pride and some weird story get in the way of him maybe getting away with something in that, right? Like if he had, he ended up getting away with
not
it
exactly.
after that excuse?
It's a good excuse. He has a product that's not performance enhancing that will make you piss hot that he has an excuse for taking. Like
no, but it's not performance. It's not sex. But if it's not something that was given to him,
this is how you beat the system.
It doesn't matter because it's not a banned substance.
Let me lay it out. It is a banned substance. But here's what happens.
What I mean is, like, the pills he was taking aren't the banned substance. They're not like, no dick pills. They're like, no whatever is in there that's banned. So he didn't mean to do it, is what I'm saying.
So that's what let me lay this out for people who don't follow, like, USADA testing, which is probably most people. If you piss hot for a performance-enhancing drug, or sometimes a drug that masks a performance-enhancing drug or whatever, step number 1 is to find something else that is in. Like, oh my gosh, I hadn't realized it. Monster Energy drink has steroids in it this whole time. I accidentally took it. If you can convince this board that you accidentally took this drug, that you weren't just popping it as an effort to get bigger muscles, but instead it was slipped into something that you didn't know about, then sometimes they give you a lesser punishment. And that's what happened to Jon Jones. He got suspended. I forget if it might have been a year instead of 2 years. And it's because he found this random gas station drug that like literally, like, I guess there's like a vending machine in a gas station bathroom that dispenses these things. Yeah, and
there's a whole slew of them. Yeah,
I think I spend my time in higher class bathrooms than Jon Jones does. I literally think that's true. But anyway, yeah, I guess in some gas stations they have vending machines on the wall that hand out this like black market Viagra, and that had it. And Jones said he was taking that, not performance enhancing drugs. And they gave him a lesser punishment.
And it's like, well, but real quick, like, that explanation only makes sense if they go, all right, Mr. Jones, so do you have a problem getting an erection? And then it seems like he would have to say yes, and then they would go, okay, so a problem was made, and now we move on and we'll test it and everything. But it seems like he just made excuses the whole time.
He said he had a problem. Like the problem is he can't get his dick fully erect. That's an erectile dysfunction by definition. He admitted that. He just has this caveat that he throws in there. If you're on a podcast or something, you're asking about it. He's like, yeah, the problem isn't that it doesn't get hard at all. The problem is that it's so damn big, it can't get to where I want it.
What's great is in the build-up to this fight, Daniel Cormier and his whole team is constantly mentioning, like, my dick works. My dick, gym's full of people. My dick works too. I may have some belly fat, Jon Jones, but my dick works great.
It's just hilarious. Like, it's funny. Like, it's only that he's a professional fighter that people are letting him get away with this. Because, like, a fighter can say whatever they want, and people are like, well, I mean, like, if I saw him in person, I would wholeheartedly agree. But like that is ridiculous. It's like, what are you you're in your 20s? You're in your 20s and you're around a bunch, and you're a professional athlete, and you expect everyone to believe that you can't get an erection, and you're in your 20s and you're not fat.
I need to see
you're
the penis.
In shape. You're a professional fucking athlete.
Let me ask you this, Taylor.
This is literally the equivalent of a kid on a playground. I could fight anyone. I could take anyone. Then he gets cocked, knocked on the ground. I didn't even want to win that fight. I didn't want to. It's like, no, you did. But you got called on your BS, and you're so insecure, you have to, like, come up with some weird thing. Like, it's just weird.
What if you saw the penis, and it was indeed so girthy and long that a normal, even an athletic heart just couldn't keep this
Dude,
thing.
it would have to be bafflingly big for a professional athlete's heart to not have what it takes. For a professional fighter's, like, it would have to be to the point, like, does he wear Does he wear shorts when he fights?
No, he can't. No, his penis hangs out the bottom.
He wears.
He
They
wears
go down to his
they
ankles.
look like capris, and you can see it running all the way down past his knee.
Wait, but real quick though, does he for real wear shorts when he fights?
Yeah.
He does.
Okay, well then he's a liar. Because unless he looks like one of those
wraps
Greek.
Hey,
around.
I
He
have
looks
some
like-
evidence.
It sticks up the
If he
back of
looks
his
like
waistband.
one of those, have you ever seen those Greek like
folded all the way.
priapism?
Are you looking at
those
this picture?
Yeah. That's funny. That's
Wait,
funny.
is that
I
John
get it.
Jones or
It is
Cormier?
John
That's John
Jones.
Jones. Yeah.
BBC, Big Black Hawk. You don't get this.
Yeah.
This is not a thing you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he works for the British Broadcast Company.
Anyway, I thought it was hilarious.
So yeah, it's a really big fight card tonight because John Jones
Saturday
and
night.
Daniel Cormier are Saturday night are finally going to face off after a really long time. They faced off a couple years ago. John Jones won, and then all of his issues took place. So Cormier holds the belt, because John has been out with dick pills and running over white ladies and snorting coke. So Cormier's been the champion, holding that belt, winning fights and stuff. And John Jones is back now, and he's like, I want my belt back. And Cormier knows he wants it back. It's going to be
You guys-
Awesome.
you guys are
Cormier's
kinda
been beating
glossing-
all the same people John Jones beat, right? He beat Gustafson. He beat, I don't know if Jones ever fought Rumble, but he's been beating like the who's who of 205. And everyone is like, asterisks. You didn't beat John Jones, right? He's been champ for a couple of years now with this but John Jones exists. You're not champ because you didn't beat the champ. You just
I was watching him beat Rumble
himself.
last night. Rumble would hands up, and John would just touch his hand, and then John's got an 84-inch reach, so he would grab the other guy's glove and then just hassa with his elbow, and his elbows are long enough that he can hold your glove and elbow you in the face.
Did Jones beat
And he's-
Rumble?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't think it was a KO. I don't think it was a KO, but yeah.
But you guys,
Rumble was all
uh,
fucked
I don't
up.
remember that.
Yeah, you guys were both saying, you both glossed over it, that he's hitting pregnant ladies with his car or something. What's this about?
He had a hit and run accident where he just and the lady was pregnant, her arm was broken or something like that. So that's the clip I showed you where they think they're off mic, and he's like, "You still there, pussy?" And he's like, "Man, I wish I could come over there and I could spit in your face right now." And he's like, "If you ever did that, I would kill you." Yeah, you couldn't kill me, John. No, I'm not talking about a fight. I would literally kill you. Yeah. You think I'm just gonna sit there and let you kill me, John? And John is like, I don't think you understand, Daniel. I will murder you. There will be no witnesses. Do I need to keep going? like Daniel just didn't get it. Because they're not. Nobody's listening to this. This is off mic. And so the other big fight of the night, in my opinion, because there's a fight in between there. Cyborg got bumped from co-main event. I know the co-main event is an interesting fight too. I just can't think of it. Maybe
Maya
Cowboy
Woodley.
Cerrone versus.
Nope.
Okay.
It's
well,
Damian Maya versus Tyrone Woodley.
that's it. Yeah, I wanted to see Woodley. But
Yeah, go
Cyborg is
Woodley.
Cyborg is that hideous 145-pound woman. She like during Ronda's run, there's always this gigantic woman who can't even get down to Ronda's size, who was looming in the shadows, and unbeaten for 12 years, looks like a that movie Saw. You know how in the movie Saw that scary mask thing would be like riding the tricycle? That's what she looks like. That's what she looks like. I saw somebody tweet it out the other night. They're like, who wore it better? And it's that mask. And it's both of them because Cyborg looks like that. She's very unfortunate looking, but she is the supreme female combat athlete on this planet. She has to be. And they're fighting tonight. They found this other lady who just looks like a real beast. I don't really know her record. I think she's from another fighting league or something like that. But I'm just excited that I get to see Cyborg fight in the UFC.
Yeah,
She's totally good. Yeah,
well, she's had a couple fights already, I think. I'm not sure.
yeah, but I haven't
think
seen
so.
them.
Okay. I'm looking at. I want to see Maya Woodley. That to me is the other big fight because the other one, the Cyborg.
Who do you got?
I guess Woodley. I want Maya to win. I like Damian Maya. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. He's maybe the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy ever to be in MMA.
That's what Joe Lozon says.
Okay.
I mean, that's what Joe Rogan says.
Okay. He's very, very, very good. Like, there are a lot of great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, and then there's Maya, who's great compared to the greats. And he also went on a 7-fight run to get here. It seems like the UFC doesn't really like to promote grapplers because they sometimes have boring fights. Everyone likes the big knockouts. Usually you win 4 or 5 fights in a row, you get a title shot. This guy's won 7, and they just kind of held it away from him. He
Oh, he's
finally
getting
getting his
old.
title shot. Yeah, that's true too. It's an age issue, but he looks great. And also, he hasn't taken very much damage. Like, he manages to slither his way close to his opponents without getting crushed. But Woodley has two things, two brick walls. One, his hands. He hits hard. Woodley is just, he's like a stacked super specimen of a sprinting powerhouse kind of fighter. And the other thing is Woodley has some of the best takedown defense in MMA. So we've got a grappler.
Is that
who-
180 pounds?
70. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got this grappler who needs to, one, get past those fists, which is always a challenge. And then once he gets there, he's dealing with some of the best takedown defense in MMA. It's just, as much as I love Maia, I feel like Woodley is custom built to beat that guy.
It seems like this ends with Woodley kneeing him in the head. That's what I think often happens when you've got someone that's that good at striking and takedown defense, when they're facing someone who's stylistically just gonna have to come for that takedown. And that, like I just don't see Maia knocking him out, right, or getting a TKO. Like, it's got to get to the ground. It's got to for him. And
He's a
Woodley
little bit
knows
shorter.
that.
So
You know,
Woodley's
like I
5'9".
saw a John Jones interview where I don't remember who the other guy was, but he was like, "You don't think I know what you're going to do? You're going to try." He enunciates really. You're going to try to take me down. I know you are. It's all you have. You don't think I'm training extensively at takedown defense with the best in the world? Please. And the other guy was just like, "Shit. I thought that was our top secret stuff. We don't even let cameras in. We don't talk about what we're doing."
Who are these two people?
I can't recall. It was John Jones, like in a
But it wasn't
in a
against
media
DC.
thing. No, I don't know. But DC's pretty much the same game, right? He usually calls DC fat. That's usually,
this is awesome. DC is like, you've got bad leg genetics, because John Jones has curiously thin legs. And he's like, you going to say I got bad leg genetics with that belly fat of yours? He's like, your genetics are
Yeah.
a mess. It was like, I don't know who's winning this, but it's great.
When
John
you
Jones
guys
is the-
when you guys are watching and you pick your favorite fighters and who you like, is it more that you guys are just like, oh, I like the way that guy, I like the cut of his jib, I like the way he fights, or is it like, because I know so little, I almost always, like when I'm starting it, if one of them is American, I'm just like, all right, boom, Woodley, you're my man, we're going on this together. Like,
I like
How do you
I like
guys do
people who so like there's certain styles that I definitely like. I like guys who are flashy a lot. I'm spacing out on it right now, but
Neil
there's
Magny.
there's a guy from Mexico
Oh,
who's like
that's
a,
not
like
who I'm thinking of.
Javier or something.
Yeah,
He's like
yeah.
145 pounder or something like that. Incredibly flashy. Cody Garbrandt, another guy,
Mm-hmm.
really flashy. I like that. I like spinning stuff. I like kicks. I like stuff that appears to the audience to be showboating, but then you'll realize that he's hiding something behind it. You know what I mean? Like I don't like it to be some goofball out there doing backflips, because those guys
But if
get
it looks a
punished.
little like a kung fu movie, it's amazing.
Yes, and if
Just a
because
little.
the guys who land that stuff, because really unorthodox styles, I like that. I don't like John Jones as a person at all, and he does eye poke. I don't like that either at all. But he has an incredibly fun style to watch. He punishes people in a way that most people can't. It's not that they don't want to hurt you the way John Jones does. They just can't.
The elbows
His
seem
elbows.
meaner. Oh my gosh! Like so John Jones has incredibly long arms and legs. He's kind of thin, like skinny.
He is
So
a praying mantis.
He makes 205, whereas most people his height would be a heavyweight. And he like puts his hand on you and then follows it with the elbow. And like he'll be in here like fighting you, and rather than punch, he throws elbows.
elbow.
And you're like, oh my god, he's fighting you with half arms. But those
Yeah.
elbows are hard.
he
And-
really does. I hadn't seen his whole like body standing and everything. Like for a guy as tall as he is and with those limbs, he has a very small torso. He's got a very like daddy long legs vibe about
And
him.
his opponent is the opposite. His opponent is wide, and he's
From
thick.
belly button to back, he
Yeah.
is like this.
Yeah, in both ways. Like from
two
armpit
men.
to
He's
armpit,
twice as
he's
thick.
gigantic.
Please.
But from like nipple to lat, like he's also very big. He is just an enormous person. And he went in there and said, John Jones is strong. John Jones is so much stronger than I thought he would be. That's what DC said. But if John Jones is off the dick pills now, he might be a new fighter. Almost every time you do a rematch like this, the older fighter, like if he lost the first time, loses the second time. It's something Chael Sonnen says. He's like, if you can find an example, let me know. But every time you get a young guy against the old guy, and the young guy wins, when they fight again, the young guy wins again. You know, the old guy's not gotten better since the last time they met.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. And John Jones has a stylistic that John Jones is very good at what DC's also good at. Plus, he has a lot more. John Jones has way more avenues to victory. He just has a lot of things that he can do that DC needs to stop from happening. And the one thing DC does really well, clinch fighting, Jones is very strong there too. So it's not like he has a huge advantage. The thing is that the only hope is that John Jones isn't the same fighter he was because of ring rust and because he's not on steroids.
It's not going to happen though. Did you see John last
I think he's
year
still
doing
on
that?
steroids.
I think I don't
he
know
just
about
went
the
back
steroids,
to the old routine he didn't get caught for.
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
he
I'm
wasn't-
getting rid of those dick pills. That almost got me fucked. You know, that was a good excuse once. You know,
He's got prescription dick pills now. He makes that known. But he, but like
didn't
during
know
his
that.
off time, he wasn't just sitting around doing nothing. Like he was winning jujitsu tournaments and stuff, right? Like he's been like out there doing stuff a lot. I think I watched a wrestling match between him and someone else a while back, like actual maybe it was jujitsu or just grappling. I don't know. It was some sort of mixed rule thing. There's no striking. So he's been keeping at it. I think
But
he destroys DC. I think he knocks DC out.
Kyle's right. I think everything Kyle said is right. But there is a counter argument, and I'll pitch it. The first times Jones got suspended because he smashed his car into that pregnant woman, and then, you know, went back, got his drugs out of the car, and then ran from the scene. He got
seems like a real piece of
You want to get high after some
Yeah.
shit like that,
Do you know how
right?
hard you have to
it's been a
hit
rough
someone in
day.
your car
You
to
think I
hurt
need
him?
Smooth this over.
Cars nowadays are amazing. People don't get hurt anymore. This woman has a broken arm. That was not a small collision. Anyway, so after that, or during that suspension, he went and started powerlifting. Got super strong. He got into powerlifting. Like it became a passion of his. And then he fight this guy, OSP, and he wasn't the same fighter. He kind of changed the recipe a little bit. He got tired a little quicker. He wasn't the Jones that was so perfect for the tools he was born with. Now he gets suspended again, this time for the dick pills. And in the meantime, he's learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's becoming this grappler, and he's pretty good at it. I've seen him. Like he's certainly better than I've ever been. Like he's good. And not that I'm kind of measuring stick. Anyway, the question is, can you change the recipe and expect an improvement? You
I
know,
don't
if
think
you're a
he's gonna change the
golfer and you
recipe.
change your swing, do you think you're a better golfer now? Like usually not, right?
I don't think he's going to change his recipe. I think we're going to see a lot of distance and a lot of striking. I think he's going to punish DC, and he's going to make fucking sure he gets this win, because this would be a devastating loss. He knows if John Jones loses this, it's a real shitty loss. He's got he'll get a third fight, of course, but
Trilogy
that's
fight.
next year.
Oh, he gets a
That's
lot of
next
money
year.
if he loses.
He's
it.
like, God damn it. Okay, if I guess his worst case scenario is if I lose this fight, then this is all my life is about for the next year again. However, if I win this fight, then I can get some of that Conor McGregor money. Like that's what he's got to be thinking. Like he wants that Conor McGregor money because he knows he's a better fighter than Conor McGregor. He knows he's a more flashy guy. He knows he can be more dominant and accept more challenge.
How much bigger is he than Connor? Connor
lot.
fights like
Very much
150,
bigger.
right?
like 25% bigger.
155 and 205 are the weights. Like, and there's two weight classes. So it's 155. Yeah, that's right. And then 170, and then 185, and then John Jones. So there's like a gap.
And so it's like there's no like
no way.
Conor
would they
McGregor and
ever-
John Jones are like heavyweight, lightweight, or whatever.
Yeah.
There's no way they would ever match up.
Well,
Right.
here's the thing though. Connor's, Connor likes to be entertaining. So he's often talked about going up to 185, I think, and getting Tyrone, or wherever
70.
Tyrone Woodley is. Yeah, 170. He got the 145 belt. He got the 155 belt. So the next thing is 170, and that's that Tyrone Woodley guy we talked about. He's talked about going after that belt before. That's always funny
Yeah.
to hear because that's just.
It's-
I don't
That's
think
too
that's
many.
a
If he goes for
possibility.
that belt, I'm going all Tyron Woodley. Let's go. Let's keep
You
a
have
couple of
to.
these belts in the USA. You know,
Get that one, he amputates
They're all in
his,
fucking
his
Brazil.
right arm. He amputates his right arm, goes down to 120, 135.
Yeah, right.
Like
I don't need a foot to fight.
You little man.
you do nothing. Yeah.
Uh,
So
dude.
I'm coming back next year as Conorina. McGregor, I'm going to take all the women's belts. And if you can't handle that, then you're a fucking bigot, eh?
Yeah, right. I now identify as a 145-pound woman.
And before you even ask, I'm keeping my cock. I can handle a bit of extra weight down there.
Man, if you want to get some karma, like that little joke would in GIF form or picture form would do well to, after Cyborg wins the 145-pound belt, because like what Conor McGregor's thinking now, like he's thinking about going against Cyborg.
You know what's
I'll
fun?
let you be the GIF man. I don't know.
I had it. The Conor, the thing,
Conor,
shit.
Turning into a woman so we can get extra belts, stealing one from Woodley at 170.
Conor, he's been in this face-off thing with Mayweather. It's over now. They're training. But Conor never mentioned Mayweather's women problems. Never. And it turns out, it's just a rumor, but everyone says that Conor just had a baby. Apparently, he just had 2 babies. And one of them was not with his longtime girlfriend, fiance person named Dee. That there's another baby up. So
double daddy.
Yeah. So he
double champs and
yeah,
double daddy.
all Mayweather. Yeah, Mayweather is he's had all I guess he hit girls. He had all sorts of. Conor did not mention that guy's personal life because of the glass houses thing. They say.
I bet that's totally true.
Allegedly.
I bet they had a little private conversation at some point, everything I say, it's just gonna be coming after you. I'm gonna be harsh, but I've got my own problems, and we're not gonna go down that road either. So tit for tat on that. You keep your mouth shut, and I'll keep mine.
The thing. So I got pretty excited about him during the press conferences. It worked on me. 4 was probably too many, but I was watching them and I was loving it and looking at who won the joust. But then somebody ruined it for me. You know what they said? They said, this is all theater. These guys are taking the same tiny private jet from location to location. They're flying together on one of those 12-person jets with both of their crews.
Yeah, I heard that claimed, but I didn't see any proof. But I did see proof that they weren't. I saw a picture from Conor's jet, and it was you could see the length of the jet, and it was all white people.
Well,
yeah, we
tried
coordinating.
I'm happy again.
We tried coordinating. I wrote his script for him. I handed it to him. He didn't even look at it.
Chael Sonnen did that. Chael Sonnen. Slow.
Picture book next time.
Yeah, make a picture. Kyle, have you watched that Ozark show yet?
The first mention that I've even heard of an Ozark show was your text message earlier. What's it about? Where is it?
It's on Netflix. It's one of Netflix series, and I've been on Is
that called Drogo? Is he in it?
No,
Okay.
That's called Frontier.
All right.
This is called easy mistake, I guess. But this one, it has a real Breaking Bad vibe about it. It's got Jason Bateman. Is that his name? The actor?
Yeah, Jason Bateman.
It's got Jason Bateman and some other well-known lady as the leading lady. And it's got a Breaking Bad vibe, but it doesn't have any of the starting part of Breaking Bad, which is Walt,
I saw the preview for that.
I gotta rub my, pearl clutch a little bit. This guy starts out as kind of a piece of shit, and it just goes down quickly
what are we
from
talking
there.
About? I'm lost.
A show called Ozark on Netflix.
Oh,
yeah,
is it out or coming out?
Yes, it's out. All 10 episodes are out. It's one of the series. I'd been kind of unimpressed with the last few Netflix shows that I tried watching. I tried Frontier. I tried a couple other ones, and I got a few episodes in, and I was just like, this isn't doing it for me. And I didn't watch this one. It's only been out for 4 days, but I started it, and it is so much better than a lot of other Netflix shows out there. You guys will both like it because of how, nefarious Breaking Bad it is and how quickly it moves. The only thing I don't like about it is you'll notice it, Garen. You'll both notice it, I bet, is the leading lady who's supposed to be from the Ozarks. She's an actress from New York. Her accent is the whole gamut of Southern people, and it bounces around the whole time. And she goes from like serious Southern drawls just up to kind of like a perky thing, and it's very aggravating in that way. But other than that, the acting is spectacular, and I think you guys,
I'll check that out.
It's violent.
Movie coming out.
It's very violent. It starts
so there's a movie coming out with Will Smith, I bet you're thinking of, and it looks really cool on Netflix.
I think this is in theaters. I watched a trailer for it today, and it was unbelievable. The guy, I'm looking for which one it is. If I understand it right, the guy gets into a traffic accident. He leaves a very respectable life. He looks like I think he's wearing a suit and he's hanging, but he was drinking and driving.
Yeah. So Jamie Lannister goes to jail for because he has an accident while drinking and his buddy dies and he becomes fucking hardcore in prison. And he keeps
hardcore.
And then he like kills a guy in prison. So it's like now more time. So now the white supremacists. The trailer gives everything away. Of course. So now the white supremacists are like, oh, you got to do some dirty shit for us on the outside or we kill your family. And he's like, no one messes with my family. And that's going to be the whole arc of the movie. I'm going to have to give that one like one of these.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so you did watch it?
No, I watched the preview.
Trailer.
The trailer is like 3 minutes and you're like, all right, I know how this ends.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah,
Kyle brings up a good point. But
I've seen Prison Break.
What blew me away is I saw the guy in the car and he was,
Jamie Lannister.
Sesame Street, like it seemed like a really good guy, successful, would never break a law, etc. And then he goes to prison, and his transformation into badass was so effective and so believable for me. I wanted to see it, like better than Walter White. It was incredible.
I'm pretty psyched for this new Will Smith movie that's on Netflix. It's set in this alternate universe where we coexist with like fairies and elves goblins and trolls.
Really?
So they're like members of society. Like there's like gangsters with like suits on, but they've got like troll teeth hanging down. And Will Smith just got what they call a minority hire. He's got a troll partner. He's like so like there's no more looking down on
something.
Yeah. He's a cop. He's like LAPD. So like you would it sort of has the same kind of racist tones as if like it was an all white force and a black guy got on, and now like you're in traffic and like another troll sees the troll in the cop car and is like, yeah, what's up? And the troll's like, not in front of my black partner. I gotta like not here, and they're dealing with magical crime shit, like holy shit, is that a magic wand? And there's explosions and shit. It looks like there's like some sort of war going on with fairies.
Is it serious-ish or Men in Black silly?
No, serious.
Seems like
no.
there's a little mix.
So the guy who you got to look at who made it. Have you ever seen End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal?
No.
It's a really hardcore LAPD thing where a lot of the main characters die in the end and blood and guts, and it's like legit. It's hardcore. That guy made this. This is going to be good. There's the only joke I saw in the trailer is he comes outside of his house and there's a fairy in like his bird feeder, and there's a bunch of gangsters sitting around. They're like, give him that LAPD ass whooping, and Will Smith takes a broom and like hits the fairy so hard it goes to the ground and then smashes it, and like blood and guts go everywhere, and they're like, yeah. He's like, y'all just keep going with your gangster shit. I'm just trying to sell my house, no big deal. I thought that was pretty funny, but it didn't seem goofy or silly. Like there weren't any talking.
Check that out.
I want to see.
I like fantasy shit like that. Like that, I will like it. Like I don't know if you love Lord of the Rings to this level, Kyle, but often when I jump into any new fantasy world that still says like, oh, orcs are here, or like look out for the orcs or Uruk-hai or whatever, mostly orcs. Like I'll in my head, like I have like basically like a child's tantrum of like, that's not what an orc looks like. That's not an orc. Like they don't have horns like that. Like, do you get that ever? Yeah. And in your head it's so stupid and silly.
No. I think what you're saying is that to you that if you're looking up what an elf or what an orc or what a
dwarf,
a dwarf looks like it's Tolkien's version of those things. And you've got a good point there, because I mean like nobody else was like making up languages for these races and distinguishing between different races within each species and stuff. Like there's like different types of elves and there's different types of dwarves, and he distinguishes those and talks about their varying languages and why they're that way. Like I could go with Tolkien's versions of like mythical things.
It's just the way you think about it. Like when I think like a child wizard or something, like I wasn't the biggest Harry Potter fan, but I picture like a Harry Potter kind of look. It's just because that's kind of the archetype that you're backfilling. But I'll check that out. That seems pretty cool.
When's it come out?
Woody. When does it come out, Kyle?
Is it like this year?
It's called Bright, and it does come out this year. I'm just looking for the exact date.
That show, Ozarks, Woody, I know that your flagship complaint for most shows is it's taken forever to get anything done. Or like, this is taking forever.
Right.
This
This
the first
season,
episode
we'll
of
try to
this-
cross the prairie.
Exactly. There is none of this in this show. Like, the only feeling you get is like, oh, like I wish they would have included more of like how that was happening. But like the first episode is almost like Breaking Bad-ish in that like it gets started like just a few minutes after it goes. So you'll like that aspect of it.
That's
The Will
cool.
Smith thing comes out December, so quite a
was
wait
that?
for that.
Viking movie that we all like so much. Was it called Vikings? It wasn't a movie. it
So
was
there's a
series.
History Channel on the History Channel. There's a thing called Vikings. It's okay, but there's a thing called The Last Kingdom on Netflix.
That's what. Yeah. No. As much as I praised how much that moved, there was a part of me later that was like, you know what? Sometimes the reason the highs are so high is that you came from a low, and like I like that it moved. I don't know that I'd change it, but I will say that show was like all sugar, no potatoes, and. A proper meal has a steak, potato, and a dessert. It was just dessert. Guy waiting for an army to show up. So what does he do? He actually stands on the field, looks at his watch, and then there they are. Took 15 seconds of viewer time. If that was Game of Thrones, it'd be 2 years. Like literally, seasons would go by.
The army would die. Like you'd be like the army would almost be there. And then they'd find a magic weapon, and then they'd all die. Like they would get your hopes right up to here before taking them away. They'd be like, "Oh, sir, not only is your army here, they found the Excalibur. You will be the king of kings." And then all of a sudden, you see Excalibur explode because the wrong guy grabbed it, and fire rains down on all of his armies. Like that's what would happen.
Winning you over.
Euron won me over. All right, So what I said last week was, why are we so afraid of Euron? He hasn't kicked one ass, not a single one, not even a slap of the face. Like we've seen Tyrion kick a lot more ass
Kicked that old
than
guy's
Euron.
ass on the bridge.
Tyrion went in with that battle axe into that war. He led the charge and won the Blackwater Bay. Like he's killed many a man. I've seen it. But Euron hadn't done shit as far as I was concerned. Nothing impressive, certainly. And then in the dead of night, he rides a golden kraken jaw. with a big squid axe and smashes a man with his entrance, and he's just like, "Aha!" And he's got full plate armor because of course he doesn't mind drowning, and he just goes ham.
I love that.
And he kills 2/3 of the sand snakes with their own weapons.
He's on a ship.
And he whips them the way you want him to, right? Like she hits him with that whip, and he's like, "That hurt! Come here!" and just kills her.
Oh, dude, my fear in battle, like how I sometimes think like how would hypothetical would he do in battle, this and that, and and of course you think highly of yourself maybe, but what I don't like is the first guy in battle, right? When you're at the front, those people, no one lives. No one goes to the very front. Like it's me and 12 other guys. We're the tip of the spear. That spear's getting stabbed. You're done. You're done. The beginning of Saving Private Ryan, all those people died as the ship doors dropped. They're the little amphibious things. Not because they were bad at war, because they were first. Someone had to be first, and we volunteered you to be cannon fodder. And
although I feel like the top tier guys, they're okay. Like my favorite story, and even in the books as well as Euron kind of retold, is like when Jaime comes through the hole in the wall when they're fighting against the Greyjoys, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you just came through. They said you were the best in the world, unbeatable, unstoppable. Like, and did I live up to it? Well, you came through the wall and sliced everything you saw in half. Yeah." It was a thing to behold,
Yeah,
all right.
And
really kind of
Euron-
showed how
Euron,
much he's a. Go ahead.
He's on that little lever thing that goes down into the other boat. He's first. And rather than be like, "Oh fuck, I'm first," I only get 150 to 1. He's like, "What a target-rich environment," fuck yeah, this is what I trained for, and just starts killing everyone while his backup comes. And
He was playing zombies like the way I do, where I'm like, "It's mine, no, that's my kill. Get out of here! No, don't come over to the boat yet. You fuck! No, just me for the next minute." The thing I like the most about that battle is I'm lukewarm on him, or I was much more lukewarm up until the sand snakes part started, and as soon as those bitches got on deck, first of all of Twitter erupted with "No, damn it! I thought they were gone," but then 2 seconds later they were gone. because like as that battle was going, like because we've been conditioned now to think that wafy small women wearing sashes and whips are going to go and do badass things, but it was exactly what would have happened, where it's just a hi-ya! You know, like Leah from Futurama, and he just kind of is irritated for a second and is like, oh, I forgot. All right, and you're dead. All right, where's your friend? Oh, right over there. All right, I'll come to you. Okay, like that kind of thing. And so that really got a lot of points, seeing him in real time murder boring storylines.
Did you watch the videography? That's fine. I like the way you put that. Did you watch the videography? Like, I was like, all right, Sand Snakes are fighting again. Let's see how they handle this. How did they handle it? Like 3-frame shots repeated. It was just like, I'm like, oh my God, thank goodness I'm not like prone to epileptic seizures, because the camera work on the most recent Sand Snake fight was just bam, 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 jump cut, so many jump cuts. Total confusing. Hardly see what's happening. The cameraman, I can just picture.
For the best.
You know?
It's for the best that it be dark and it take place. Because here's what it is. They're not coordinated to do combination moves. Like, there's no way they can, like, run, do a roll, come up to one knee, and then stab. They have to, like, all right, get on one knee right there. Corey, come stand here. Yeah, come stand in for the actor. All right. Now you're going to stab with a fake knife, and we're going to record that. All right. Now do that 15 more times. All right, we got it. Now, Jim, come do a barrel roll for her. All right, we got that. Like that's how they're fighting. They're recording these girls' fight scenes. Like, I guarantee it, because they were just uncoordinated. They weren't good at it. They were just really pretty.
What happens when you hire a model to be an action figure? You know,
Yeah.
like they're the way that they move seems.
You know, you
fake.
say that, but look at Brienne. It's not like they picked
She's
Brienne.
not a model.
But she's not a model.
Yeah, but they picked
far
her
from a
because she's
model.
6 foot. She's 6'2". They didn't pick her because like she happened to be a martial arts champion. I think she just took to it.
Jennifer Lawrence told this story of I guess she did a Victoria's Secret like shoot, and they were playing lingerie football. So it was her and like a bunch of other models. And when the thing came out, they didn't use any Jennifer Lawrence pictures. Yeah, this is the Hunger Games chick, and she's like, "Why? What happened? You know, how come you didn't use any more pictures?" And they showed her the pictures. All the other girls were playing like pretty football, where they were like, like smiling and posing while they played football for the camera. And she was like, "Grr, get your ugly face on," winning at lingerie football. And and all of her shots were just like killer athletic. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure that was the reason. It wasn't that she's a full foot shorter than everyone else and
Is she
dumpy.
short?
Compared to a Victoria's Secret model,
Maybe.
those girls are 6 feet
But
tall.
this is the story she told on the Graham Norton show, and
Yeah, I bet she did.
it circles back to like that's why she was good for the Hunger Games. You know, not that she's like Ronda Rousey or anything, but she moves like an athletic person would move. She's an athletic woman.
Have you ever watched? Because I remember at our high school for football, they would have like cheerleader games of football for like the field day things where all the cheerleaders played each other.
Powder puff.
Yeah, powder puff football, exactly. And they would do that. And for the most part, it was what you described with those models where, you know, 90% of the girls are just kind of like half-assing it. They don't really care. More than anything, they don't want to like get knocked down and get too dirty. But 10% of those girls want to fucking win. And they have been waiting this whole time to get the chance to play football. They would have been on the football field if they were boys, you know.
It's why they
And
signed
you
up for
can-
cheerleading.
Yeah, you can see in them, like, it's like, oh yeah, Natalie over there, she doesn't really give a fuck. But wait till she hands it off to Christine. Boom, look at that. Yeah, Christine gives a fuck, doesn't she? and you can see, and like it was a real time thing. I remember watching, being like, man, this isn't even fun because both teams know they have two tryhards that they'll just hand it to. But yeah, it is like a different thing. If they had to cast an action hero out of my group of, you know, high school cheerleaders, they would have been the ones to pick, not the one going like, oh, I dropped the ball. Tee-hee-hee, is it cute? It's like, no, hand it to me. You know, it's a fumble. You know, don't you ever watch the games we're cheering? But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's just, I think you're right on that. But,
So
yeah, I really liked this episode more than the first one even.
Yeah.
I don't want to burn through too much.
Yeah. Well, let's
Didn't get a chance
let's
to.
save it for PKA, the
was
Game
it
of
shorter
Thrones
than
talk.
the first one?
Exact same length, I think. I think they were both 51 minutes.
Maybe that indicates that it was
15.
better, because I was surprised it ended. Like, I was watching it, I was kind of into it, I was enjoying it. I wasn't doing that thing where I hit like pause play to see how much time there was left, and then the credits rolled, and I was like, oh, now I have to wait another week. Like, it's done. and it snuck up on me. But I'm doing a Game of Thrones party this weekend. We have some friends coming over. They're
Nice.
huge. They've read the books, and I think they. Well, one, we're hanging out. We're doing a pool party and stuff. But two, they like our big screen, and they want to watch Game of Thrones on it.
They're gonna be talking?
I've had a couple.
See,
big
no,
Game
I
of
need to know the
Thrones.
protocol about this. Like, will they be talking during this? Like, how does this work? Because
I wouldn't.
I can't.
No, here's
You wouldn't expect.
Here's what.
But what are you gonna
I'm-
do, Woody, when you're like 8 minutes into it and like something just happened and they just switched over to like Arya, right? Like they started with Tyrion. Tyrion got in some shit and like some shit goes down. Then they go to Arya and it's like formulative stuff. It's important. And this individual starts going, "Can you believe that? Wow, that Tyrion.
Sand
I
snake
hope he
whip.
makes it."
Hit her with this sand snake whip. The dagger's next, bitch.
Your
So
friend's
you're gonna-
white, right?
What? Are they white? Yeah, they're white.
No, he's a troll. Yeah.
um,
But I've had a couple Game of Thrones bashes before, not
Mm-hmm.
in a wonderful sunroom or anything or a theater room, of course. But when I was in college, there was one that me and the two other friends of mine that were all caught up on the books at the time. It was right before the Red Wedding episode, and we all knew that the Red Wedding episode was going to be the big to do.
All of you?
And all of us did because we were the ones who had read the books. But we invited a dozen other people to come over who just liked the show. And so, you got, some girls and guys there all sitting around and we're watching and everything. And me, my buddy Matt, and someone else are all there. And we are always stealing glances at each other like, oh, it's coming. Like, is it going to come? It better fucking come because I really think it's. And then finally, when that last scene started happening, you hear the. Yeah, you hear that whole thing. And my buddy who didn't know it was going to happen saw Catelyn's face do that drop when she heard
Yeah.
it, and he's like, "Oh, what's going to happen? Like, look at her face." And I was like, Catelyn, she always looks like that. and then him and his girlfriend were like, "Yeah, she does kind of always look like that." And then they kept watching, and it wasn't until 2 stabs into the pregnant lady's belly that it started to register, and people were like, "Oh, fuck!" Literally, as this was happening, I could hear upstairs in the apartment building people going, "Boo! Boo! Boo! And everybody was just freaking out about it. And it was the best experience of watching something with someone and seeing them be surprised ever. I had never seen the scene either because it had just come out, but I knew it was going to happen. And it was there's something about that, is seeing other people internalize a
equivalent?
horrible
those
thing in a
reaction
TV
videos
show.
went viral on YouTube. People were setting up cameras who knew it was
Yeah.
coming. That was
The
cool.
I should have
equivalent
done
of
that.
I bet, like in Harry Potter, when Dumbledore dies, I bet there were a lot of people that would be a good one to catch. I've never had a moment like that where I knew something that big, because there aren't many narratives that do that sort of thing, right? Where they build these guys up as
Yeah,
this is gonna be your queen, this is gonna be your king. She's pregnant with your new prince, and stab, and you're just like, oh, what
Wait,
am I
what?
watching?
Yeah, because the Starks are gonna win, with quotes for you guys on audio, and this is the only Stark with any. Sansa's a pussy. Arya's a little kid. Snow's not even a Stark.
And he's sworn away.
Bran's
I thought it was
broken,
cool
and
Rickon's a child, 3.
yeah. So it's when you lost Rob. Wait a minute.
That was it.
Game
Yeah.
over. How can it be game over? How
I
can
remember
that be?
Yeah.
for 2 or 3 years, it was you'd see the Stark direwolf in the intro, and you'd be like, why don't they even put them up there anymore? What's is that just so we remember them? Is that why they still put the direwolf?
Yeah, that was
up
a
there?
first round playoff exit.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah.
just a reminder.
The dire wolf. So, all right, I'm gonna say this. I think I'm the only one who was confused. I wasn't sure that was Nymeria, because she looked at Nymeria. They had Nymeria decided not to kill her, and then she goes, "Oh, or she says, I'm going to Winterfell. Why don't you come with me?" And then she says, "That's not you." And I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's not Nymeria? I don't understand it. But I watched this YouTube video that explained it, and I forget. She was talking to her father, Ned Stark, and he was like, "You're going to be a princess. You're going to wear dresses. You're going to learn to sew or whatever." And she says, "That's not me." Right? So take that from season 1, circle back to season 7. When she says, "That's not you," Nymeria is no longer a pet. right? She's in the woods with her band of
Yeah.
regular wolves, slaying shit. And when she says, "You can be my pet," that's not you. Like, I got it. That was I didn't get it. I didn't recognize it as a tie back to season 1. Forgive me, that was nearly a decade ago, but I get it now, and it was cool. So I thought maybe
I didn't
other people
notice
didn't
that
get it.
little line and the callback to it. I just
Oh.
noticed I
8 foot
figured out
tall
it was
wolf.
Nymeria right away because it was the one that looked like hers, and it was the only wolf that was enormous. And as soon as I saw the wolf, by the way, I'm like, okay, you are forgiven for not including the wolf in more scenes because this is distractingly stupid.
It's so
Like,
big. It's so big.
It's like
so
it's
big.
it's a horse of a wolf.
It
That's
is.
what it
That's
is.
what they're supposed to be.
I almost
Yeah.
felt like they did a lot to prevent you from like gauging its size. Like, all right, we're going to take this wolf. We're going to be projecting the camera upward, looking only the canopy of the forest, etc. I wish they had, there's not a lot of dialogue.
Well, they gave you a real wolf's face for the expressions.
Right, but I guess I just wanted a real wolf to be there imposing in all the scenes as tall, as big. Where what I thought they actually did was kind of like close up on a regular wolf, and you couldn't see.
I bet the reason they
proportion.
did that was because like they realized, just like in the first seasons, when they try and depict this giant wolf, delicately padding through the forest like a clever monster, like it looks awkward, it looks weird, it doesn't look real, like it's so bad it's distracting, and so it's easier to just kind of try and bamboozle you like they did with Gandalf and the Hobbits and Lord of the Rings and the Heights, and just kind of imply that it's really big, and at the same time not open themselves up to a bunch of people going, that wolf is fake wolf, stupid fake wolf.
Like Walking Dead. Did you see that table?
Oh, I saw the deer. Yeah.
That's what I meant
Oh,
to say.
no.
Yeah. Did you see the table where they made Gandalf look big through forced perspective that like shifted?
I've seen all the special editions.
I
all
was
the
hoping
special
you
features.
had. That to me showed a level of like detail and care that was amazing. I know the direwolf can't be in every scene because it's expensive, but I wish they had done that.
How
for
expensive
this one
is
scene.
it? This is the biggest show on TV. Like, fucking splurge a little. Is it going to be another $1 million? Really? Like, it's worth it then. I don't think it's. I don't understand. Like when I hear, we didn't have the budget for the CGI wolf. You're like, isn't this a show where our heroes are the wolf people? Like, don't they each have a wolf assigned to them that they're like telepathic
They're
with?
wargs. Yeah.
Like, come the fuck on.
The whole wolf storyline, it seems like George R.R. Martin wrote it in, and then like quickly was like, we're not doing that. Like,
it almost seems that way.
I had
Yeah,
another
because
realization.
it turns out if you give everyone a giant wolf, it makes many of their tasks too
you had another
easy.
realization.
You'll never get in here to get to the key of Azkaban. Snowshoe, run in and get it. Like, okay, just runs in.
I lost it already. What was my?
What's your realization?
It was a Game of Thrones thing. It wasn't about the wolves.
It was about the Lord of the Rings height thing that they would spend it on that.
Oh, how can I
Spend-
lose these things so quickly? It's gone. It was-
You know what? I feel like I'm the only one on this team, but I would much rather them spend a lot more money, like making real armor and dressing up all the soldiers and having like that level of battle be better than have them spend way more money on the dragons and wolves.
I feel like
Because I
that's
feel like
where the
all
money is going, because like whenever you look at the wardrobe and the costumes, like I feel like they're top notch. Like I never look at them and think the only time that I've ever heard any fans talk about it was Euron's costume in the first episode. They just thought
I'm
it was
only
too
referring
modern.
to it from like the battle point of view, but you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you're watching an action movie and all the guards and the close-up soldiers look really good, but then
Yeah.
it gets to battle and you see 2 lines of depth and then it's just clearly not even real people.
people in like not real, or they're like in Adidas
Yeah.
and their sweatpants.
I feel the
are showing
Lannisters
and-
all have.
yeah, they've got like watches. Like
It seems like they have a lot of copies of that Lannister army, the sort of crimson and gold plate armor. It seems whenever I see that, I kind of look closely, and it looks like it has nice detail. I know the Queen's armor. I like it a lot, if you can call it that. A sort of a dress armor thing where she's got those silver shoulder pads with the chains connecting. I think that's fucking cool.
yeah.
All right. Well, that was PKN 154. I had fun. I was excited this episode.
Yep. Much more Game of Thrones talk to come on Thursday.
No.